You paranormal peeps, Richard again. Still feeling a bit rough, but feeling a little bit better today, thank God. Right, this is it. This is what I'm gonna try and do, and I'm gonna try with it all my might and every being of my fibre to get this message out there, and to get what I've been told across, and to make you see in any way I can really do that. I start at the beginning, but before I do, you know, I've been told I have too much faith. I'm naive. I have just too much faith in people and different things, and I'm not naive. I know that I can't live in this world without money. I'm well aware of that. I can assure you. And yeah, I do have faith in people, and there is evil people out there who are selfish and cruel and full of hate and pain, and they will push that on others. And I tried to send this message to Jeremy Corbyn today, and part of me wants to share it and annoy him and share it and then share it just to save one life. If I save one life, guys, one life who is sitting there alone, afraid, and they feel abandoned, I don't want that. I don't want them to look at me, because that wouldn't be what I would have placed upon them. I wouldn't make this world the way it is. I would change it all to save that one life. And I'd give up everything. I'd give up my car. I'd give up food. I'd give up anything I've ever desired in my life to save that life. And sometimes I wish I couldn't. I can be honest. I wish that wasn't in me, and I wish I hadn't come to that conclusion. Sometimes I just wish I was blissfully ignorant like everybody else, and I could just get on my life and just take what I want from it. I just can't. I've tried it, and it's just the pain I feel and guilt, and so. But as most of you will know, I've been a paranormal investigator for a long time, and I have searched for things and looked for answers, because I want to know if I die that I will see people I love again, and I'm not just going to be in darkness forever, and this is just this moment, and when they die, I'll be waiting for them, to greet them, tell them it's okay, and show them what's next. And that's what I searched for, but in doing that, I found something else. Now, I found a message. I was given this when I was a kid, so this is what I'm on about starting at the beginning. Sorry if I'm going back and forth. This is just got to get it off my brain as I can. It's not scripted. This is straight from me. This is the truth as I know it. And this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to try and give solutions, but I'm not going to go into them yet, because I don't think the world is ready for solutions. But I'm going to try and give them. But what I'm going to try and do is give you how I found these things, and why they make me feel the way they do, and what I believe they are, and where I believe they come from, and who is putting them out there. Because I wasn't chosen or anything like that to give this message. I'm not the chosen one or anything like that. I'm not anything like that at all. I heard the message. The message was sent to me. It was sent to lots of us, but I just chose to act on it. I just chose to listen. That's all I did. I just chose to listen. So yeah, I will try my best. If you don't understand it, let me know. I'm going to try and throw science out there, and mysticism and magic, and I'm trying to tell you it's in everything, and where I found it and everything, and I'll try my best. Don't know if I'm going to get it right, but what I want to need, like I said, is the future, to look back and know that I didn't cause the misery you might suffer. It wasn't down to me. There was a better way, and people chose not to use it. And there was a better way. And I'll give you one of the first examples of that. Before you go into thinking none of this can be done, let's start and let's trying to change our mindset and that way of thinking. There was a woman in America, an African American woman, and her son was murdered. He was actually murdered. And she went to visit the murderer in prison. And she spoke to him. He told her his story. And she said, I hated this young man. Took the most precious thing in her life, what she lived for. This man took from her. And she continued to visit him. And she took him in and gave him a life that he never had. Now I can't imagine where that type of power and strength comes from. But that, and we can see when, and my mate was on about it today, with Neanderthals and now we're still living in caves in our heads, and we're just all out for each other now and all out for ourselves. But if one person can do it, then we all can do it. That's just simple science, guys. That's just simple maths. If one person can do it, we all can do it. So, anyway. When I had a weird experience when I was a kid. I'll start at the beginning. I had this strange memory of being created and of wonderment and this voice, this weird voice in my head telling me things, telling me that I will forget when I get to a certain age. And this is life, this is life, like, and the exchange will come where I transition from the person I was into this new formed me. And that's one of my first experiences. And then I started having really strange, say coming up to past 7 or 8, I just started to see I just felt like there was something in me. I can't explain it. And I just felt different, and I felt like I had a connection to something greater than myself. And I was born with dyslexia, so the world was pretty close to me when you got dyslexia. I got really severe word blindness. So I wasn't getting this from books, and I wasn't getting this from the outside world, or information that was being passed to me from other people. Because when I looked at them, I was like, whoa, what's that about? But I just it's just put in the back of my mind. You're a kid, I just want to play and do things, and I had these nature feelings and like drives and things that were just coming out in me and stuff, and they were conflicting, and yeah, it was always there from a kid. Well, going forward to about 10. I was in a place called Barry Island, and I was going to, there was this underground bit in these toilets, and I was going to this toilet, and this, you're gonna have to take this on faith, guys, and what I'm telling you. I need to tell you the story, otherwise you're not gonna get away how I've gone on this journey and what started it off. And it might, I'm not saying it's not make believe, I'm not saying that I didn't imagine it, because I don't know. This is where faith comes into it. I don't know, but this is what happened. This is what I know happened to me. And something called me, and there was no one else around. And I went down the side of this alley next to this toilet, and there was this figure stood in this arch behind this fenced wall, like a gate, sorry. And it was like it was calling my name, and it reached for me. And I remember that fear and I was about a good 10 foot, maybe more, away from this gate, and its fingers came about that close to my face. Oh, the terror. I ran told my mum. So she went down and checked. Anyway, from that moment on, I started having these just weird experiences. I would see things and stuff, and then it started escalating to like where my covers would be pulled off me in bed, and I saw things, mad things, on my pillows. I got pulled out of bed. I saw my nan after she passed. I think I saw my gramp. I started to see weird things outside, like there was stuff happening to me, and all my friends who know me will vouch for this because I talked about it. I had this weird phenomena with my wardrobe, but there was something in there, and then I showed my mates, and I showed my dad, and my family seeing these different experiences, and I know I'm trying to rush over it, but there's so much, okay? And then I started coming into my teens, and obviously your mind starts to change then, and you start to see the world a little bit differently, and I grew up quite criminal, like, I'll be honest, like, not criminal, but I was a naughty boy, and my friends were into stealing things, and I always sat wrong with me. It always just like really sat wrong with me, and my conscience was fighting against it. And I love playing that, but I love being silly, and I did. But when it came to really like taking people's stuff, it always made me nervous. One, because I love my mum and dad, and I didn't want to disrespect them, even though my mother's quite like brought me up quite straight. But I just that was it. I just kept feeling it. It wouldn't go away. I just wanted it to go away, like, but it just wouldn't. So it just was a conflict. It was a duality. It was affecting me. Anyway, so I started to move beyond that. Still having these experiences. They got stronger and stronger. They went on a bit of a lull, and I was thinking, this is not right. This is not happening to anyone else. Surely, like, what is wrong with me? Like, why do I feel like this? Why am I saying these things? Why do people look at me like I'm weird? Like, but I continued because I felt like I had to. Anyway, moving on. Lots and lots of experiences. I'll talk about them in different videos over time, but right now it just doesn't seem like the time. I'm just trying to give you an overview. Moving forward to like coming up into my sort of moving into adulthood, I had a real big profound one. And I was just caught in my ex-wife at the time, and we had a massive one. Up in the mountains in Caerphilly. Oh, I had an experience. It was like a movie, and absolutely shook me up. Really shook her. I thought it was gonna, I thought she wasn't gonna be with me anymore. It was that bad. Like, and I tried to tell her this stuff happened around me, and it was a bit weird, to say the least. But it happened, and I'll put that story out there as well. But anyway, well, then I had something like, there was something telling me something that is going to happen, and I could feel it right in here, right in my heart, that something big was going to happen, and it was going to change the world. But it wasn't the lives that were going to be lost in this event. It was what was behind this event, and the darkness behind it, okay? And about 3 years later, and this kept on, and I was trying to tell people how I felt about life, and that we've got to do this, and we've got to make it better, and we've got to try, and God, and I was trying to talk about Jesus and different things, because it was the only people I could really attribute to at the time. There was I wasn't finding out other information about other religions or anything like that, or other deities. That's what I was brought up with. And I was trying to explain how I felt and how this person would act in certain ways, and the people who were talking about him didn't understand him. So anyway, 9/11 happened, and absolutely rocked me to my core. And I was sitting in my mate's house, and I said, right, God, because I talked to God from a kid. I remember many conversations about like death, and going back to it, I saw myself standing doing this very thing, telling people one day as an adult I would be stood telling people this story. Anyway, jump back forward, and a cross appeared. Just this green light, or bright light, but it started green because I was sitting in my mate's house, and his wallpaper was green, and it just appeared this unbelievable cross. And I know I'm doing psychology, and I've been fascinated by psychology, and we can create illusions and that, but this had an energy with it. This went through me, and it frightened me. Oh my God, it frightened me. I climbed up and sat here. I was like, I couldn't bear to look at it. I didn't feel right looking upon it. And that started the rest of my life, of the questions I would ask and where I would take you. And that was the first real incidents that started me thinking, wow, that was something. There was something there. All these feelings I'd had, it gave them something solid and something real, and it gave me faith. And not in the biblical sense, not in the Bible. You know what man's done with it, or what people have tainted it with, and why they've killed over it. None of that. I'm not about, like, it doesn't matter if Jesus was real. It doesn't matter if the story's made up. I realised that it's the story. That's the important thing, these little messages. The story of Jesus. He said on the cross, Lord, why have you forsaken me? He said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He said on the temple, on the Mount of Olives, he said, love thy enemy. If you only love the people who love you, where's the reward in that? And this is little messages, and there's other people. It's not just Jesus. It's not just, all these deities have said profound and beautiful things, and people unfortunately have turned them and tainted them. But there's other messages, and they're in everything, and I will try and share them with you, and I will try and make you understand where they are. And you might understand where I'm coming from. So I'm sorry if that's all sounds a bit jumbled up and a bit messy. I'll try and clarify it. This is the first video. I've avoided doing this for most of my life. This very thing, telling it like it is. I've tried to say this is what you got to do, because I don't feel worthy of being the spokesperson for something myself when I don't know if I'm doing what's right. But that's what I gotta do, and I'll try and do the rest, guys. I'm just gonna keep telling this story. There's lots more to come, and hopefully you'll see what I've seen, and then it's down to us, isn't it? So stay tuned, keep listening, keep the faith, and hopefully you'll see that there is someone who cares for what you're going through, and I will hopefully try and tell you this story. So, have a night, guys. Stay safe. Be good to each other, and we'll get through this. Have a night.